In the news, COVID-19, Chief of Army Staff at Tigre gets jab, urges personnel to do same. Tigre crisis, Ethiopia's Abiy confirms Eritrea's agreement to withdraw troops from border area. UK-China controversy, China imposes ban on UK MPs. Global hunger, AFDB seeks US intervention in tackling menace. AFCON qualifiers, Super Eagles arrive Benin by boat. Details shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital-first Pan-African news network. I am Rose Audu, and this is TOS News 360. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Otahiru, on Friday received the COVID-19 vaccine jab in his office alongside some principal staff officers of the Nigerian Army. This, he said, is in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's example of taking the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine publicly. It was reported that some of the senior officers who received the jab include the Director of Army Public Relations, Brigadier General Mohammed Yerima. A lecturer of the Covenant University, Canaan Land, Ota in Ogun State, has been crushed to death by a container conveying truck on Friday morning. According to an eyewitness account, the tragedy was reported to have struck in the Odo Ota local government council area of the state early Friday, 26 March 2021, shortly after the young lecturer had dropped his children at school. Identified as Engineer Folosho Badejo, who until his death was tutoring at the Department of Electrical Engineering, had just dropped his children in their school and then parked at Iyana Yesi bus stop waiting to pick some of his co-workers when the tragedy occurred. Suspected armed bandits have killed 9 Kaduna indigents in separate attacks spanning Birnin Gwari and Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. This was disclosed in a statement made by the State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruwan. He says the bandits barricaded the Dagon Tower Kuyelo Road in Birnin Gwari, where they shot 6 people. They also shot 2 more people at Ungwan Maje in Birnin Gwari local government area of the state. Another attack was then launched by the suspected bandit on Kwanan village in Giwa local government area, and 1 person was shot after he resisted attempts to kidnap him. And the Northern Cross River Coalition and the Center for Good Governance has accused member representing Bekwara Obudu Opaniluku Federal Constituency of Cross River State, Lagos, Idagbo, of diverting over 400 million naira meant for constituency projects. The president of the coalition, Sunday Michael, says that after thorough investigation, it discovered that 3 new projects awarded in September 2020 by the lawmaker for his constituency were never executed. They also alleged that the lawmaker awarded the contract to his close associates to enable him get 50% kickback from the project funds.
That Right Honorable Lego Idagbo, the member representing Bekwara Obudu and Obanliko Federal Constituency, who is also chairman of the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, facilitated 3 constituency projects. The contracts which were awarded on September 25th, 2020, totaling a whopping sum of 491 million, ended up in the hands of the contractors who did not do the job. For example, Ibex Train Nigeria Limited, which was to build an ICT center at Bend, only repainted 2 classrooms. This act of non-execution and non-completion of constituency project contracts awarded to his crony is a flagrant abuse of our extant laws. We have meticulously investigated and uncovered huge financial fraud, sleeves and outright non-execution of the project by the contractors affiliated to the member of.
This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360, stories from across Africa after the break. Welcome back. From across Africa, the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has confirmed that the government of Eritrea has agreed to withdraw of its troops from the Ethiopian territory along their common border. The Ethiopian Prime Minister stated this barely a few days after acknowledging that Eritrean forces had entered Ethiopia's Tigre region during an almost 5-month unrest. He also confirmed that the Ethiopian National Defense Force will take over guarding the border with immediate effect. And the body of Tanzania's late President John Magufuli has been moved to his ancestral home of Chato in the country's northwest for public viewing and burial. Residents are now paying their last respects to him at the Magufuli Stadium, as he has been the norm all week. His body was moved through different towns in Tanzania to allow for public mourning. Close family, relatives and friends of Magufuli are also attending the private funeral service in Chato. Magufuli died on March 17th after a 10-year battle with heart complications. And the European Union ambassador to Sierra Leone, Uton Verns, said that the Union is looking at ways to send in aid and assistance to the survivors of an inferno which rocked a slum in the country's capital, Freetown. According to eyewitness accounts, the fire started from the seaside, coming in with heavy winds and kept moving to the eastern part and later spread all over. An estimated 400 or more houses were lost, with countless fatalities. Authorities in the city also say that the death toll is unclear, but thousands may have been affected by the inferno. In the trial of Amede Kwerini, the alleged leader of the perpetrators of Ivory Coast post-election massacre, has commenced in the nation's capital, Abidjan. Since his arrest in 2013, Kwerini is alleged to have led a militia on the 29th of March 2019 to the western city of Jikau, known to have been a stronghold of defeated President Laurent Gbagbo, where more than 800 civilians were murdered. The suspected mastermind of the attack faces 20 charges, including genocide, war crimes, rape, murder, and extortion. And China is not taking it easy with 9 citizens and 5 members of the Parliament of United Kingdom as it imposes ban for spreading what it called lies and misinformation about the country. The ban comes in retaliation for measures taken by the UK government on Monday over human rights abuses against the Uyghur Muslim minority group. And this is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. More stories after this timeout. Welcome back, and still talking on global stories. A final vote results released by Israel's Election Commission on Thursday revealed that things seem not working well for Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as his effort to win a parliamentary majority in Israel's 4th election within 2 years has fizzled out. Results shown have disclosed that Netanyahu and his allies polled 52 seats in the parliament against the 57 held by their opponents. CTJN reports that to form a government, the prime ministerial candidate must work with allied partners to secure a majority of 61 seats in Israel's parliament. Meanwhile, in the middle were 2 undecided parties, Yamina, a 7-seat nationalist party headed by a former Netanyahu lieutenant, and Rehan, an Arab Islamist party that won 4 seats. However, there is a deep divisions in both pro-Netanyahu and anti-Netanyahu blocs, which would make it difficult for either side to secure a majority with them. And U.S. lawmakers turned inquisitive on Thursday as they grilled top executives of Facebook, Google, and Twitter for 6 hours in a virtual hearing. The lawmakers blamed the platforms for political extremism, vaccine bashing, and more, while promising new regulations to eliminate online disinformation. The Democrats have slammed the platforms for failing to stem misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines and incitement ahead of the January 6 Capitol riots launched by Trump supporters in an attempt to violently overturn the election results, while Republicans accused the firms of operating in a vague and biased manner. And in business, the African Development Bank has urged the United States to intervene through appropriate policy measure in order to end global hunger. President of African Development Bank and winner of the 2017 World Food Prize, Akinwumi Adesina, who joined other World Food Prize laureates, in a letter to the U.S. President Joe Biden, said the risk of dying from hunger is greater than dying from COVID-19. The letter, written by a group of 24 scientists, economists, researchers, and other past winners of the World Food Prize, including Adesina, described America's role in tackling the scourge of global hunger as foundational. And out of the 59.2 billion naira earmarked for the national mass metering projects by the federal government, the Central Bank of Nigeria has so far released 33.2 billion naira to electricity distribution companies in the country, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission said Thursday. NEC Chairman Sanusi Garba spoke during an interactive section between the Senate Committee on Power, NEC officials, and representatives of the discos in Abuja. Garba said the project, which is targeted at 1 million unmetered houses across the country, and built for execution between October of 2020 and April 2021, has only attained 13% implementation at March 19, 2021. And the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) on Thursday said it generated a total of 2.197 trillion naira from the sale of petrol between December of 2019 to December of 2020. In the period under review, the Group General Manager, Group Public Affairs Division, Kenny Abataru, who broke the news in a press statement, said the corporation braked in a total of 2.217 trillion naira from the total sales of white products. The statement that was on the December 2020 edition of the NNPC Monthly Financial and Operations Report said total revenues generated from the sales of white products for the period of December 2019 to December of 2020 stood at 2.217 trillion naira, where petrol contributed about 99.09% of the total sales with a value of 2.197 trillion. This is your digital first Pan-African News Network, TOS Television. You're watching TOS News 360. Up next, entertainment and sports. Welcome back. On entertainment, Jessica Walter, the Emmy Award-winning actress known for the starring roles in Arrested Development and Archer, has died, her daughter said in a statement Thursday. She was 80. It is with a heavy heart that I confirm the passing of my beloved mom, Jessica, her daughter Brooke Bowen said in a statement. A working actor for over 6 decades, her greatest pleasure was bringing joy to others through her storytelling both on screen and off screen. Walter played a variety of roles throughout her career and took home an Emmy Award in 1975 for her portrayal of a young California police detective in Army Prentice. On the farewell season of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Thursday night, Kim Kardashian was trying her best to suppress the stress from her marriage to Kanye West and his involvement on social media. It's no secret that everyone sees things in the media about my life with Kanye, but I've always been really respectful in not talking about issues that Kanye and I have. I mean, you guys clearly see them on Twitter, so I am still going to choose to not really talk about it here, Kim said in her confessional statement. Kim, who has always tried to remain private about her marriage and supportive of Kanye despite his notorious rants, stopped herself from going into detail because she didn't want to talk about it on camera. Moving on to sports, Super Eagles of Nigeria have arrived at Porto Novo, the capital city of Benin. Generals men took an unusual route to their West African neighbors for Saturday's game at Porto Novo. They arrived on Cotonou by boat for their Africa Cup of Nations qualifying fixture against Benin on Saturday. After they landed in the West African country, the three-time African champions will travel to Porto Novo by road. And former Arsenal striker Thierry Henry says he is removing himself from social media because of racism and bullying across platforms. The 43-year-old former France striker posted a message to his 2.3 million followers on Twitter on Friday saying the problem was too toxic to ignore. He said he would not return to social media until people in power regulate platforms with the same vigor and ferocity when you infringe copyright. The international representative of the Nigeria Basketball Federation Board, Sam Amedu, on Thursday has assured that the federation would not spare any effort in getting the best out of the country's national teams. Amedu said in a statement that this was necessary as the male and female senior national teams prepare for a busy 2021. And that is a TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African News Network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like TOS Television Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on TOS Television Network. I am Rose Audu, and thanks for watching.
As a continent